It's a cool Friday. Good evening to you all. You're welcome again to another episode of the Ideal Life Talk Season 2. I am your host, Adesina Roslyn. Yes, we shall continue our series that is theme, the three-seaters in the soul. Three-seaters in the soul. And those three-seaters, as I've been listing, is the mind, the emotion, and the will. Okay? And this episode is not for you if you haven't listened, to the first series on this theme, where we treated the mind, what it entails. Alright, okay. So, and moving on today, we would look at the third bar of the emotional strategy to, apply, which is social awareness strategy. Okay, but before we go deep into that, I want to establish more things on this series, so we won't get carried away, with this strategies, forgetting where we're coming from. All right, I don't want us to forget and put our mind keenly into this. So, roll up your sleeves, put your mind in gear, be totally ready to receive the gift that is coming when Jesus arrives. Don't lazily slip back in those old grooves of evil, doing just what you feel like doing. You didn't know any better then. You do now. As obedient children, let yourself be pulled into a way of life shaped by God's life, a life energetic and blazing with holiness. God said, I am holy. Be ye holy, right? So just right from 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13 to 16. Many a times we get carried away with the activities in the spirit that we forget that for each thing we engage ourselves in, or for each thing we engage ourselves in, or we do not engage ourselves in, there is always a physical manifestation from that realm. And for that manifestation to take place in our lives, we have to be deliberate. Because the only thing that hinders man from functioning well in the realm of the spirit is the body, is the container it carries. It always repels the flesh and the spirit. They are enmity, right? They repel. So we have to be deliberate. In actions, we have to be deliberate. And this is the whole why essence of treating and making us see that the emotion has the major role to play. Okay, look at it this way. If the real us is not this flesh we carry, if the real us is what is inside our spirit, and if for every thing in the physical there is always an orchestration from the spirit realm, then for everything that happens or that we do day in day out, we have to be deliberate about it, because there's also a spiritual backup that we have to be aware of. Even in the emotions we display, they are natural, okay? It is nature. These things are bound to be, but we have to be deliberate. For instance, anger, it is normal. If you don't get angry as human, then we have to recheck again if the person is alright, okay? So, but you have to be deliberate. Do I really need this? Do I really need this? No. All those things, anger, shame, fear, hurt, would come, but they should not overtake us. They should not hijack us. They should not overwhelm us. We should be in charge. We have to be deliberate about it. We should consult that realm to establish, our physical actions. All right, we have to take actions and be deliberate, and that is why we are treating all this so that day in, day out, we apply. As we function in the spirit realm and we know the real horse is who is inside, then we deliberately apply what we are learning back here. We deliberately apply those lessons. Alright, stay tuned. Let's take a quick break and we shall be right back. And you're welcome back. And so out of these 4 strategic bars, we've looked at 2. And now today we will look at the third one. Okay? We've looked at the self-awareness, the self-management. Today we'll look at briefly the social awareness strategy. What do we have to do here? What do we have to be aware of socially? Why do we have to be aware of these things? Yes, so that we don't create resentment, when we relate, so that we avoid unnecessary reactions when we relate, and so that we understand ourselves better, right? So the first thing is greet people by name. All right, one of the etiquettes is you address people the way they want to be addressed, by name. Yes, if they want you to call them this, please do so. And you watch body language, right? You watch body language. It's very important. When you're having a talk with someone and the person is looking here and there and is not having a fixed gaze, then the person is distracted. Perhaps the person does not want the conversation, or the person, is not interested in what you're saying. Else, the person should keep a fixed gaze and know the body language. You have to watch and learn them. Alright, the next is make timing every time. Make timing everything. You have to time your day. You have to schedule. You have to make a schedule. You have to make a schedule per day for what you do, so no one just bored into your day own hours and it gets you destabilized, right, or frustrated. Okay, you can avoid those things. And what else? Yeah, you have to live in the moment. Okay, that's one of the strategies the devil uses to make people get bored, lonely. Those times will come, right? But as they come, you have to deliberately stay away. Okay, and that's why it's very important to make some confessions out and say, no, I am this, I am that. I refuse to live in my past. Okay, the past is past. Okay, you can only take the lessons from the past and apply it in the future, which is now. All right, live in the moment. Live in the moment. Live in the moment and make it beautiful. Right? If you're having a talk presently with someone, have the talk. If it's if you want it, okay, you have the talk and enjoy that moment. If it's a family gathering, if it's a friend talk, live in the moment and make it beautiful. And also practice the act of listening. Listen to people when they talk to you, or when they talk with you, chat with you. Listen to them. Try to understand who they are. Try to give them listening ears. When you give people listening ears, it gives them a notion that they are important to you. Okay, and understand the rule and culture. So you don't get caught unawares and disturbed, frustrated, wild, amazed. Make an appointment with people, meet people when it is necessary, okay, and have a talk to understand them better, to know them better. And the lovely part I love more is live in the moment and make it beautiful. Don't dwell on the past. It doesn't help. It hurts. Okay, you can only learn from the lessons and apply them in the future, which is now. All these are important because the spirit of a man is the Lord's once that man is saved. But the soul is what the enemy targets, because that is where this three-seaters dwells. And that is where whatsoever comes in as the mind receives it goes into emotions to, calculate the emotion to display. And it finally expresses, itself through the will. And you see it out in action. So the time you have to be deliberate of what emotion you express. You have to be deliberate about it. Okay, that will be end for today on the 4 strategic bars of the emotion. Okay, social awareness. And next week we'll try the last one, relationship management. All right, reading the reflection of the day, I want us to pay attention. Okay, in the face of a very depressive news and occurrences all over the place, do your best to ensure that you carry a cheerful heart. It doesn't it does good like medicine. Even when you are going through your tough moments and life challenges, carry a cheerful heart still. It will serve as the tonic to see you through. No doubt, suffering is a product of the storms of life. As you know it, storms do come unannounced and catch a man unprepared. But when you are going through your tough phase of life, deliberately let your cheerfulness overshadow the challenges you may be passing through. Let your smiles and positive words be a window of hope reflecting a positive tomorrow. Please note that you cannot really stop a man of hope. There are times things will tarry, but if you hold on longer than the challenge, you will come out triumphant. Always remember that if storms can come suddenly, then it can also disappear suddenly if your attitude is right. Cheers. Wow. This is what reflecting on, isn't it? It is what it, like I said, live in the moment. Don't dwell in the past or the news or things we hear around, okay? As we receive it, we deliberately express a cheerful heart. See what I'm saying now? Okay, and whatsoever have a beginning will surely have an end. So have that at the back of, let's have that at the back of our mind. So whatsoever we are facing will surely come to an end one day. Everyone has a life, and the life will end one day on earth. Okay, it continues after. All right, so whatsoever we're passing through, it might look forever, but it can never be forever. It can never be forever. And once we know it can never be forever, then that is enough, is a victory. Because in that, whatsoever we're passing through, yes, we'll be cheerful, and we know that it cannot be forever, and whatsoever that comes our way, we receive the strength, to overcome them. All right. And we have to understand also that we grow in challenges. We grow, when we are stressed. Okay. If there is no, how do they put it now? Yeah, if there is no story, then no glory. Alright, and that will be the end for today. So, and the question of the day is, what is the meaning of life? And what is the meaning of your life? Alright. Okay, till I come your way next for the last bar of the emotional strategy in the emotion. Please remain blessed, remain safe. I remain your host, Adesina Roslyn. Have a wonderful and lovely weekend. Bye.